All right, it's Matt and Noah at Beanie Bro Sports. We're talking trade deadline, and let's kick it off here. Jeff Passan just tweeted breaking. The Los Angeles Dodgers are making significant progress on a deal that would send them star right-hander Max Scherzer and star shortstop Trey Turner from the Washington Nationals. Matt, what do you think?
Holy crap. Trey Turner, I didn't know he was on the market. Oh my gosh, that's a huge move. Holy crap.
Holy crap is right. Oh my
That's
goodness.
interesting. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know, where would they put Corey Seager then? Is Corey Seager, where's he going to play Corey Seager then?
Well, Corey Seager's not even back right now. He's been out for a
Oh,
while, but
true. I didn't even know that.
if you have Corey Seager and Trey Turner, one of them plays second, but
Well,
you got to do it.
Isn't Gavin Lux their guy at second?
Yeah, but if you get Trey Turner, I don't think Gavin Lux
Yeah,
is
I
the
know.
guy at
He
second
is.
anymore.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Heck, you could even make the case that he's even better than Corey Seager. Some of his cases, honestly, he's been incredible. That is insane, though. Trey Turner. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. If
I
that
wonder who.
happens, like Trey Turner to the Dodgers makes them
Oh
are they're already World
crap.
Series favorites, but this
Oh
puts
my.
them over the top.
Oh yeah. Holy crud, man. That's insane, man. It is insane that it just seems like the NL West are just trying to one up each other. They're just all outbidding each other. It's just a horse race. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean it was reported that the Padres were in on Scherzer and they were close, and now the Dodgers are close on Scherzer and Turner.
That's insane. I wonder like what I mean, I wonder what kind of prospects they're gonna I know the Dodgers, so they always have incredible prospects. So
Well, I mean, right away, Gavin Lux is in the trade.
yeah, that probably would just make sense. Like
But
I mean, who are some of the Dodgers top prospects? Oh, I'd have to take a look.
yeah, pull up the list right now.
They're probably gonna have to trade like two top five
Oh,
maybe.
for sure. I mean, Trey Turner is locked up for what, another year? Or is it
Yes,
another
he
two?
is. And
One
he's
more
like,
year.
you're talking like one of the top, I don't know, top shortstops in the game there. So, guy's still in his
Definitely.
prime. And then also you're getting, I mean, Max Scherzer's a rental and he's still one of the best pitchers in the league, but he's a rental. But then you throw in like one of the best shortstops in the game too. It's like, geez. And like you said, another year of control. So it's not just this year, but next year too. So,
And Trey Turner, arguably the best offensive shortstop in the game.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's batting 322 this year with an 890 OPS, 18 bombs. He's really got the power stroke working this year. I mean, he had it going last year, but I mean, this year he just even more home runs this year. I mean, more games, but he's this that's crazy. That's definitely shocking.
It's absolutely insane. And we thought the biggest news of the night was going to be Anthony Rizzo going to the Yankees. That was a big move for the Yankees after getting Gallo last night. But Trey Turner possibly going to LA, even crazier.
Yeah, no, that's insane. Trey Turner just out of nowhere. Um,
That is shocking to me.
yeah, I mean, when you hear stuff like that, I mean, I don't know. I wonder if the Giants are up to anything. I mean, I mean, aren't they still in the lead right now? I mean, if the Dodgers and the Padres are looking to make these moves, I mean, are they quietly up to something? Because I mean, the Dodgers are only all these teams are still well within it. I mean, even though the Padres are 6 games back, they're still in it. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight at the end. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Oh, for sure. I
I,
mean,
I would say this race in the NL West is one of the best divisional, I guess, races like down the stretch. Most exciting we've seen probably in a long time. It's really exciting.
oh, 100%. And when you see the Dodgers and Padres continually looking to make moves, I mean, right now, these guys are playing in a wild card game.
I
One
know, yeah,
game
that's the thing.
elimination.
Yeah, one of these teams is going to make all these deals, and they're just going to be out there because I mean, yeah, the two at this point, it's probably pretty likely that the two wild card teams are coming from the NL West here. So one of these teams is going to be in the wild card game and play one game, and they're going to be out after making all these deals and stuff. So it's going to suck for one of them, that's for sure.
You know what? This might be the most exciting trade deadline in a long time.
I think, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, we got some big guys possibly moving. Now Jeff Passan is tweeting Bryant with the Mets is a possibility. They're talking there. I mean, just lots of big guys flipping right now. And Padres are in on Barrios. Just absolutely ridiculous.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that's insane. Oh man.
My goodness, it's been a crazy week, and it's about to get crazier.
Oh yeah. Well, when's the official trade deadline? Is it like 2 p.m. tomorrow or something, or what is it?
I think it's tomorrow.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think it was usually 4 or 5,
4 or
but I'm
5.
not
That
sure what it
sounds
is
that sounds
this
right.
year.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I mean, let's go back to Toronto for a minute. Big move for the Jays today, getting Brad Hand. You
Oh
want to
yeah,
talk
for
a bit
sure.
about that one?
Yeah, I really like that move. I mean, right now the Jays are definitely they're pretty far back in the division right now, 10.5 games. And I mean, they are only 4.5 games in the wild card. I mean, out of the second wild card spot, which I believe currently Oakland holds that. But I mean, as a Jays fan myself, I don't want to see them just make these huge moves and stuff this year and trade the farm because they do have one of the top farm systems, and I don't want to see them, trade it all just to potentially get into a wild card game and then all of a sudden lose in the wild card game like that. So I, but what they, so what I mean, yeah, you definitely don't want to be sellers because they still are a good team, but what they've been doing and what I've kind of liked what they've been doing is just they've been making like low cost acquisitions, like kind of, so they're still being buyers and they're doing it more with regards to their bullpen. The Aaron's, the Adam Simber move has been really good for them. He's been probably their best bullpen arm since he's gotten here. He's just been shut down. He's not really a big power arm or strikeout guy, but he's just a reliable arm they have. They got Trevor Richards, who's been good. I mean, he did blow that game against the Red Sox this year, the first game of the series they had here against the Red Sox, but he's been good other than that. And then now they get Brad Hand for basically Riley Adams, who again, that's if there's one position the Jays have a plethora of, it is catchers. He's likely the fifth most promising catcher in their system right now. So definitely a good move. I mean, his contract's up at the end of the year, so it's still a rental, but it definitely wasn't a high cost rental to say least. So I think it was a good move. I mean, again, Brad Hand, not an overpowering guy. He isn't having the best year. I think he has like 5 blown saves or something, or 6. I really don't know. So, and he hasn't been good as of late, but yeah, he still has stuff, and he still is a 3-time All-Star. So he does have the stuff. So all in all,
Yeah,
I think it was a good trade.
exactly. And Brad Hand has had a rough start to the year, as you just mentioned, but maybe change of scenery will be good for him. He's been very good in his past. Even last year, he had a great year,
Yeah, he
and
did.
he could definitely be a big answer for the Blue Jays at the back end of the bullpen.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
And as we were just talking about the Dodgers possibly trading for Trey Turner, Max Scherzer, their number one prospect catcher Keber Ruiz scratched tonight from AAA.
Who? The Dodgers?
Yeah, their
Okay.
number one prospect, catcher prospect. He's 23, got
Ooh.
a 55 hit grade, which is very good for a catcher, and he was scratched tonight.
He's a
Not
catcher?
saying it means he's going, but
So sorry, he's a catcher?
he's a catcher.
Okay. Well, even though he's a good prospect, they can afford that because they do have Will Smith blocking him
Yeah,
at the majors right now. He's
definitely.
himself. So that would make sense.
Yeah, but you gotta keep your eyes open when the number one prospect scratched from his
Oh,
AAA game
100%.
night before the deadline.
Okay, yeah. Kabert Ruiz.
Yeah.
And they got Jose Gray, Michael Bush. All right. Okay.
I mean, could definitely see them trying to get Josiah Gray as well. I mean, he's their best pitching prospect. Even Bobby Miller is younger, and he's a very good prospect as well. He's their number 5 prospect. They got a bunch of pitchers there in the top 10.
Yeah, they do. They really do. And I mean, also, I guess like their 4 top prospects according to MLB.com, they're in the their upper levels of their minor league system. I mean the first guy, this, like you said, the one guy they're catching, their number one prospect, or Ruiz, he's in AAA. Jose Gray has actually played in at the MLB this year, and then Bush and Hauser are both in AA. So these guys aren't too far away from being in the majors. These aren't like single A guys who are their top prospects. These guys are not too far away from the majors right now.
Exactly, which also makes you wonder maybe the Nationals get one of those guys like Keber Ruiz and then they go for some younger arms because it looks like they're in
Sure.
complete tear mode.
Yeah, it's probably at this point everyone's untouchable except everyone's open for discussion, except like Juan Soto, basically at this point.
Yeah, but poor Juan Soto.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, he won his World Series, so I mean, I'm sure he'd like to win another one. He's still pretty young, but yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, this adds more to the NL East here. The Nationals are hitting reset now. The Braves and Phillies have some big questions in the next 24 hours. Not even 24 hours now,
yeah. I mean,
and
I was surprised to see in the NL East. I didn't know the NL East standings. I didn't know the Phillies are only 3.5 games back of the Mets.
they just had a huge win over Washington today. They were down, I think, 7-0.
Like crud. Oh
seven
yeah, yeah,
nothing, and they
yeah.
won
And they hit a
11
walk-off
to
grand
8.
slam.
Yeah, walk off grand slam by Brad
Brad
Miller.
Miller. Yeah. Yeah, like I'm surprised they're Philadelphia's only 3.5 back, so they're definitely well within that striking distance there for sure.
Definitely,
Man, yeah, man, this is gonna be pretty exciting.
very exciting. This is crazy.
Yeah, oh man, it's gonna be awesome. Even the AL East should be a pretty good thing down the stretch because I mean, yeah, the Yankees are 9 games out, but I mean they've made two big trades for some big left-handed bats, that was one area they were struggling with because I mean, there were high expectations coming into the season, especially for their offense, and a lot of teams had them ranked number two, like overall. But they've been kind of disappointing, even though they still are 5 games above 500. We had high expectations for their offense, and surprisingly, they're ranked 14th in the AL in runs scored behind the Rangers of all teams. That's the only team they're outscoring at this point. So
And as Billy Bean says, how do you score runs? You get on base. And Joey Gallo
exactly,
and Anthony Rizzo, two of the best left-handed bats with high on base percentage. That's a
yeah,
good formula in New York, especially
yeah.
with
I
short
mean,
porch.
oh yeah. There's gonna be a lot of strikeouts, maybe some boring games with Gallo, Judge, and Stanton maybe hitting all back to back to back with all their strikeouts. But hey, they get on base, I guess, and they're all they're all threats to go deep at any time in a game.
Yeah, definitely.
Man. All right, yeah, I guess I just gotta keep refreshing Twitter now that
Yes, Ken Rosenthal just said likely AAA catcher Keber Ruiz will be one of key players. He's the game's number 16 prospect, according to Baseball America. So definitely a big time prospect, but when you're getting a guy like Trey Turner and at least a few months of Max Scherzer, it's worth it.
oh
100%.
yeah, I would say so as well, especially considering they already do have their catcher for the future in the majors right now. So
Yeah.
it
But
would
now you wonder if this move is more them saying we're not signing Corey Seager at the end of the season. We're
oh
letting him
yeah,
walk.
that's
Trey
that is
Turner
something to
is
consider.
our
I didn't even think of that.
yeah, and they have a year of Turner under contract, and then maybe they'll sign him up long term.
Oh man,
Would you take Trey Turner or Corey Seager?
that's oof. That's tough. I mean, I know they're basically the same age. I think Corey Seager's maybe a year younger. That's it. So age isn't really a big concern. One of them, I would probably take. Ooh, that's tough. I'd probably take Trey Turner in all honesty.
Yeah, Trey Turner is. I think he's the best offensive shortstop in the game. I
Yeah,
think
because
Bogarts is up there, Correa's up there, but there's something about Trey Turner's just ability to get on base, his speed,
yeah,
his bat, his power, everything.
yeah, because I mean, in all honesty, I didn't really think Trey Turner was a big power bat, and I thought Corey Seager had more power. But looking like, especially last year and then this year, it's like the power has definitely been there. I mean, he was slugged over 500, actually 588 last year, and he's slugging over 500 again. It's like this guy does have power. And again, the big difference probably between the two the reason why I would take Trey Turner is because of his speed. Like he's one of the fastest guys in the league.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely take Trey Turner.
Bob Nightingale's an idiot.
Why would he say?
He just posted Trey Turner, who wants to remain at short, won't be a free agent until after the 22 season, while current Dodgers shortstop Kyle Seager is a free agent after the World Series. It's Corey. It's Corey, Bob. Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. He is going to get ripped apart. I better
Yeah.
screenshot that one before he deletes. It already has 154 comments in 1 minute.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and he's already deleted it. It's gone. Good job, Bob. Good job.
Take his blue check mark away. He doesn't deserve it.
Really, it's so funny. Whenever he tweets, all the comments are just like the opposite of what he says. But yeah, I guess so. Trey Turner is a shortstop. He wants to play short. So if the Dodgers trade for him, looks like he's going to be their shortstop. Maybe Seager moves to second for the rest of the year when he gets back.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you definitely don't want to mess with Turner if you're trading for him. You don't want to move him to second. You got Justin Turner at third already. Going to have a lot of Turners in the infield.
Oh, yeah.
All right, what you seeing on Twitter, Matt? Anything spicy?
No, I don't see anything right now.
Wow, this is one of the best trade deadlines. This is the best trade deadline that I've ever seen.
I think something's going to go down today. A couple things.
Yeah, there's just been so much talk today. First with like Scherzer, and then with the Rizzo trade, and there's been a lot of talk with the Mets. There's been talk with Barrios. There's been so much talk today, and all we've really seen is that Rizzo trade and a few other minor deals, and could be a really big move tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. Let's see what happens. Yeah, because I mean, like, there's still guys. I mean, like, I'm sure Kimbrel's going to be moved as well at some point. I don't know if I'm going to be getting him because I mean, he's been one of the best relievers in baseball, so that'll help any team who had envisioning a deep playoff run.
Does Baez get moved though?
I don't know. I mean, he is a free agent at the end of the year.
Honestly, Rizzo was the one player that I did not think the Cubs would trade.
Yeah.
And the fact that they traded him says a lot. And I think Baez could be gone as well. Bryant's definitely gone by the end of tomorrow.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In his game today, he stayed on the field for an hour, just stayed in the dugout and just stared at the field. Pretty emotional. I think he knows it's his end of his career in Chicago.
Oh yeah, he definitely knows. Oh man.
And it looks like Ender Inciarte from the Braves was released today. Interesting move. Yeah, he used to be from the Braves. Yeah, the center fielder from a few years ago. Used to be one of their key players, and he got released today.
He used to be really good.
Yeah, he did used to be very good.
He batted above 300 a couple seasons. His first one of the years in Atlanta, he actually had 200 hits one year. He was really good. Batted 304 with 201 hits.
Yeah.
As an all-star and 3-time Gold Glover. But yeah, he has struggled, to say the least, since then, especially from a hitting standpoint.
Definitely.
Man. And he was he was actually in that trade that sent Shelby Miller to the Arizona Diamondbacks. I remember that. And that was also
Shelby Miller.
What a horrible trade that was. Shelby Miller was brutal. I think he had like an ERA of 7 the first year he was there.
Yeah. And they gave up their number 1 overall pick, Dansby Swanson.
Yep. Dansby Swanson, literally immediately after they drafted him, pretty much.
Which is rough. Like, why would you do that? You never trade the number 1. Come on.
Yeah. Man. Such a dumb trade.
Really?
Blair. They also got Aaron Blair, although he didn't do anything. He had an ERA of 7.5. But
Hector Santiago, did you see he got suspended 80 games?
Why? Because of
PEDs. Yeah.
Classic.
Kind of funny after he just got a suspension for like the sticky substances.
Oh.
And
he was doing even worse cheating than that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, even John Heyman's tweeting about the possibility of Scherzer Turner package right now.
Ooh.
But he's saying Turner would play second once Seager returns.
I don't know if I was Trey Turner, I'm sure I would play second or short. It doesn't really matter. When you get to go on a Dodgers, a team, and you can win another World Series as opposed to being in the Nationals, which probably aren't going to play for anything this year, I think,
Yeah, but imagine him and Corey Seager up the middle.
That would be pretty good.
And then in the lineup together, oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. You got Corey Seager, Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger, Justin Turner. Oh gosh.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that would be pretty nuts. Oh man. That is gonna be a crazy lineup if that actually happens.
Insane.
Oh, man. Your Mets got to make a move here to bolster that lineup.
They do. I'm still hoping they really bust out and go for Trevor Story.
That would be sweet.
That would be sweet.
Trevor Story is going to get traded.
But now the Yankees are out, obviously. I think that really opens the door for the Mets. I thought the Yankees were the clear favorite to get Trevor Story, and them getting Rizzo and Gallo, they're definitely out on Story, but maybe he still goes to New York. We will see.
Well, I mean, yeah, Trevor Story, I mean, especially from the Rockies standpoint, they should trade him. I mean, they're not going to re-sign him, especially with we saw with that whole Nolan Arenado fiasco. I'm sure Trevor Story is not going to sign with the Rockies, or the Rockies management is not going to be willing to give the money maybe he's looking for. So,
100%.
in my mind, he's not going to be with the Rockies after this year, even if they don't trade him.
And then if the Mets were to get John Gray in the trade as well.
Oh, that'd be pretty good. Really.
Very good.
Yeah, because John Gray's had he had a brutal year last year that was a shortened season. So, keep that in mind. But he hasn't been too bad this year. He has an ERA 3.67. He struggled somewhat with command, but he hasn't been too bad.
Yeah, he really hasn't.
And again, with all of the Mets injuries they have in the rotation, that definitely would be welcomed.
Definitely.
When are all these guys supposed to be back for the Mets? Like, when's Noah Syndergaard supposed to be back? How about Carlos Carrasco? And
Syndergaard, honestly, is probably going to be like a September addition to the club.
Okay.
But he has to play before September to be eligible for the playoffs, doesn't he?
Oh, true, yeah.
So maybe he returns in August. I honestly think that if he's able to return, he's going to be a bullpen arm for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
And imagine him in like the 8th inning of a playoff game.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
you have Familia, him, and like Edwin Diaz, all these guys just throwing gas. Oh, yeah. That'll be deadly, to say the least.
The Seattle Mariners traded for their new closing pitcher tonight. They got reliever Diego Castillo from the Tampa Bay Rays.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one kind of slipped in under the radar. That happened over an hour ago, but I kind of missed out on that one. But they just traded Kendall Graveman away, which I think we all thought was kind of a bit weird considering where they are in the standings right now. But
I thought that was dumb.
That's Jerry DiPoto. He brings guys in, he trades guys away. He has no emotional connection whatsoever to his players.
Oh, my gosh.
Just wow. It's a bit curious about the decision to pitch Max Scherzer today. Especially when they were so close on so many fronts and they still decided to pitch him in game 1 of the doubleheader.
Oh.
And when he's been dealing with injuries too, like,
oh my gosh.
That's a weird decision for the Nationals. But it worked out well for them. They got the win.
He pitched well.
He pitched very well.
It was fine, I feel like Scherzer didn't even have the best start this year, but it's just ever since, a rough start, he's just been classic Scherzer and just, pitching yet another great season.
Yeah, definitely. Like, he had an awful year from his standards last year, even though it was a good year for sure. Just lower, obviously, than his usual self, but he's been great this year. He had a couple blow-ups. I think was it the Jays who kind of blew him up a bit, or was it not even the Jays, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. that blew him up?
Yeah, he had a grand slam off him.
Yeah.
He might have
if you take out, like, I think he's had 2 bad starts. If you take out those 2 bad starts, his numbers are right up there for Cy.
Oh, yeah. He's been really good. A whip under 1 at .886. That's really good. Actually, that's probably a career low so far if he keeps that on track. So,
yeah,
we're allowing 5.8 hits per 9 innings. Strikeout to walk ratio of 5.68. It's just really good.
By the end of the night, we could have Max Scherzer, Trey Turner, and Russell Westbrook going from Washington to LA.
Wow.
Absolutely insane.
Jeez. After, Washington, city of champions, after winning the Stanley Cup and then the World Series, now it's just, they might not be the best in the coming years.
Yeah.
Stars. Oh, man. Cried. How about, what's going on?
Okay, what else we got going on in the MLB trade deadline?
I don't see anything.
I feel like everything's about to go down.
Yeah, I think a lot is about to go down too.
Yeah, we got about 20 hours remaining. I think it's 5 o'clock. I do. I think it's
O'clock?
5 o'clock. It might be 4, but it's either 4 or 5. But I mean, this one guy tweeted, "This has to be the most electric MLB trade deadline of my lifetime." 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Especially today. And then, like, what happens if the Braves go all in? They just took 3 out of 5 from the Mets.
Ooh.
And yes, they just played a 5-game series.
Oh my gosh.
I think definitely the Yankees could trade Luke Voit by the end of the night.
Really?
I could see him going to Seattle. I like the fit there.
Okay.
Probably not the favorite to get him, but I think Seattle's going to make a move. I mean, they've already made some moves, but
they should. They're well within the wild card game, that's for sure.
100%. And
Oakland's really choking.
Yeah, and Seattle's waited a long time to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Like the thing with Oakland versus Seattle, Seattle actually seems like they play pretty well, if not even better, against higher caliber teams. Whereas Oakland actually really struggles against teams that are above 500. Like I was actually checking, I think their 5 of their last 7 series they played like teams above 500. Like they played like the White Sox, the Astros, the Red Sox, the Rays, the Cleveland Indians, and they've lost every single one of those series. So it's like clearly they're just not getting the job done against teams above 500. Whereas Seattle seems like every team they play, like they swept the Rays the 4-game series. That was kind of like the first series where they started to get noticed. Like, okay, this is a legit team. Then they beat the Jays. I'm pretty sure they probably had some other big series. I think they maybe beat the Astros in a series as well. So it seems like they just step up to the occasion quite a lot. Whereas the A's can only beat up on like the Angels and crappy Rangers. It seems like it.
Definitely, yeah. Seattle's been really good this year, and I think they're honestly like the Giants in the American League, just even more under the radar. Like I don't think anyone realized how well they play together and just like how well balanced their team is. They have a great offense. They strike out a ton. They strike out a lot, but when they're hitting, and they can beat some good teams.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, this is they're still really early on their development path. That's for sure. Like they got a lot of young studs in that farm system. Jared Kelenic, Julio Rodriguez. Obviously they have Kyle Lewis. That could be one of the best outfields for years.
Yeah,
guys there.
But Seattle will find a way to mess it up.
Yeah, I mean they did have A-Rod, Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, and Edgar Martinez all on the same team one year, and still didn't even make the World Series.
It sounds like Seattle. Sorry.
Yeah, just classic Seattle.
Yeah. So Dodgers, according to John Heyman, are moving closer to agreement on Scherzer, Turner, blockbuster. So Keibert Ruiz and Josiah Gray, among others, are believed on the table. So possibly the Dodgers' number 1 and number 2 prospects headed back to Washington in the trade.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take 2 top 5 prospects to get them.
And might even be 2 top 2 prospects.
Yeah, they're first and second.
But I mean, maybe number 1, number 2, and then a couple high upside, low minor league starting pitchers. Young guys that have high upside, but still lots of years away. I could see that getting the deal done. Maybe throw in a young outfielder. 5 players heading to Washington. Could happen.
Yeah, you could see it happen. For sure.
Since 2019, Trey Turner is 7th among position players in WAR. Max Scherzer is 6th among pitchers in WAR. Ridiculous. If these two guys both go to the Dodgers, who are already like many see as the favorites to win the World Series, you're talking about the defending world champions adding Max Scherzer and Trey Turner at the deadline.
And then how many guys would they have former Cy Young winners on their team? They already have Clayton Kershaw. I mean, Trevor Bauer. But I mean, I don't know what's happening with that situation, but they have David Price in the bullpen. Then if they add him, that's like 4 former Cy Young winners on their roster.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And you mentioned Trevor Bauer. I mean, if things continue to go downhill there, they can use that money to sign Scherzer to a couple more years at the end of the season.
Oh yeah, for sure. He would definitely be probably interested in being on the Dodgers, considering they're going to continue to be competitive beyond this season because they're the Dodgers and they have all the money in the world.
100%. Like I definitely don't see them doing this if the Trevor Bauer news didn't happen a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And if Corey Seager hasn't been injured the last 2 months, 1.5 months, like he's been out for quite a while. I think he broke his wrist.
I don't even know. I didn't even know he was out that long. I thought he came back, but
I don't think he's back. He's been almost back for 3.5 weeks now.
Okay.
But ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous indeed. All right. Okay, yeah, he hasn't played since May 15th. I haven't been paying.
It's been a while.
Yeah, he's been out for 2.5 months.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Wow.
No, I definitely thought it was kind of interesting with I don't know if you saw who the Rangers got. I mean, the package of prospects the Rangers got back from the Yankees, but
I saw it was pretty good. Like they had four pretty good prospects. No.
Here's the thing. If you look at the stand, I saw a lot of Yankees fans. They were so excited. They were like, "We didn't give up any of our top 15 prospects," but it's like. I looked up all the stats of the 6 guys they got. They're all having incredible years, all of them. All the hitters have OPSs over 900. Some of them have OPSs over 1,000 this year.
Really?
They have a couple both their pitchers have ERAs of 3, and then one guy's has the other guy's an ERA of 2.5. All these guys are trending in the upward directions. They're all having incredible years. All 6 of them.
Wow.
So it's
6 prospects went for Gallo.
Yeah, so and it's they probably weren't going to re-sign him anyways. So it's the fact they got 6 guys like that. I mean, all 6 of them are definitely not all going to pan out. But if you get 2 of those guys panning out, that's definitely a really good trade for the Rangers. I thought they got a lot. The Yankees gave up a ton, in my opinion. But we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about that the Starling Marte trade for a minute. Getting Jesus Luzardo from Oakland. I mean. He's been awful this year, but he's 23 and once a really hyped up prospect could be great at the end of the Miami Marlins rotation.
Yeah, I think he was the 4th overall prospect at one point.
Yeah, and I mean, we're talking about Sandy Alcantara, Sixto Sanchez, Trevor Rogers, now Jesus Luzardo in that mix, and Pablo Lopez. Ridiculous. That's going to be a great rotation next year. If they can stay healthy, they're going to be like the 2015 Mets.
Yeah, just all pitching.
Yeah. And sometimes pitching's enough.
Yeah, hopefully they just don't have the aftermath of the Mets where all these guys get injured.
Yeah.
Because if
they can stay
all
healthy,
pan out, they're not going to be able to sign them all.
Mets third base prospect, Mark Vientos, has 20 home runs on the minor league season. Double-A.
Nice.
Pretty ridiculous. I bet he could get traded. It's one of the prospects. Okay, so now Ken Rosenthal. This is moving quick. Josiah Gray, he's saying, would also be part of the package. So it would be both. It would be Ruiz and Josiah Gray. And others.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be top 2 prospects plus at least 2 more prospects, I would assume.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. I mean, that's definitely what it's going to take to get both those guys, top 2 prospects, and again, some other guys like you're talking about. Some maybe guys who are 18 or 19, a couple guys who are in I don't know rookie ball or single A that have really high upside.
Yeah.
Man.
Ridiculous.
Waiting for like the Giants to do something. I mean, they're the team that's leading the division right
But
now.
where are their holes? Where are their holes? What should they do?
Okay. I mean,
Let's look at their roster. Let's see what would improve the San Francisco Giants the most, and what should they do?
okay, so I mean, they have pretty good. They have obviously their strengths probably in their starting pitching, specifically their first three guys, which is
Definitely.
Lonnie Gosman, Alex Wood. Logan Webb hasn't been too bad this year. Their bullpen's actually been pretty good. Like their pitching's pretty solid, but you can always use another bullpen guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Um. I mean, they have the most home runs in the league right now. I'm actually pretty surprised by that. But I mean, Evan Longoria is probably out for the rest of the year.
True.
I think so. Maybe a third baseman. So maybe a Chris Bryant. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't heard anything about the Giants though, but yeah, imagine if they swiped and got Chris Bryant from Chicago.
Because I mean, I know the Giants probably sitting there thinking like, okay, the Dodgers. I know the Padres are 6 games back, but the Dodgers are only 2 games back right now, and they're loading up. And when you see a trade like that potentially going down, and you're like the Giants front office, it's like you probably want to make a splash because you don't want to be in a 1-game playoff, especially against the Padres, where they have a number of starting pitchers that, I mean, even if they don't miss out on Max Scherzer here, or I mean, they could still get Jose Barrios, but like, they could still throw out like a Yu Darvish or like a Joe Musgrove in the 1-game playoff, and you're out all of a sudden when you were just leading the division, but you just sat at the deadline or didn't want to make a big move. So
Yeah.
I think they would definitely benefit from getting like a Chris Bryant or even a Trevor Story. I mean, I know they do have Brandon Crawford at shortstop, but
Definitely.
you're going to make it work for a guy like him. That's for sure.
Matt, I've been told you should fix your camera.
My camera? Why is that?
You can only see your forehead.
Oh, fair enough. There you go.
Oh, good. Okay, so now they're saying on Twitter, John Heyman's pretty much saying the trade is all but done. Scherzer and Turner to the Dodgers. Now the big question is Scherzer going to veto it? Because he has a full no trade clause.
Oh man.
So that's the biggest question of the night right now. It looks like all the players are in place. Ruiz, Gray, plus more likely to Nats. The ball's in Scherzer's hands now.
Okay. I mean, I feel like Scherzer will probably accept that. Who knows? Who knows what's
Josiah Gray actually just debuted this week. Let's see how he did.
I think he had an ERA. I looked at his stats. He had an ERA of 6.75. So I don't know.
So rough.
How many starts that is?
I think just one. Like he just debuted this week, I believe.
It looks like he pitched 2 games, 1 game started because he has 8 innings and he struck out 13 guys. So clearly he's got good strikeout stuff. Just
clearly he's got
gave up 4 home runs. So
and 5 walks.
Yeah.
In 8 innings.
FIP is pretty ugly at 8.28, but it's only 8 innings, so who cares?
And it's 1.5 whip, but yeah, again, only 8 innings.
But he clearly has the stuff, judging by the strikeout numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, in 2019, he went 11-2 with an ERA of 2.28.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's got stuff, that's for sure.
Wow.
Okay.
So he might be the clear number one guy. I mean, Ruiz is the number one prospect, but Josiah Gray might have the most upside. He could lead a rotation in a few years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he pitched against the Giants, 4 innings, and he pitched against the Rockies. Looks okay. So he allowed 3 home runs against the Giants. He pitched in relief. He pitched 3 innings 3 to 6. Seven strikeouts in 4 innings.
Oh.
But his start against the Rockies was much better. He pitched 4 innings, allowed 2 earned runs, 79 pitches in those 4 innings, though. So clearly his control's not there quite yet. But there's not many pitchers who are when they get to the show.
No. Oh man.
Oh my goodness. It's done. Max Scherzer just approved the deal.
Really? Who said that?
Well, Bob Nightingale, which I don't trust, but John Heyman also said that. I trust John Heyman. I mean, I'm sure Ken Rosenthal is going to be on it in a moment, and he's one of the best in the game. But
Scherzer has approved the deal already. Oh, baby.
yeah.
Surprised. Wow. Trey Turner and Max Scherzer on the Dodgers. That's insane. Also, I guess we didn't even talk about Danny Duffy also on the Dodgers, too.
That's insane. Like, they've had quite the trade deadline.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
That's insane.
Yeah, the Dodgers aren't messing around. They want to go back-to-back this year.
And it's looking like they're going to go back-to-back. I mean, they got to get the division back, but there shouldn't be any problem with that.
That is insane. Oh, my gosh. I know Nationals fans probably don't like that. I mean, they probably knew Max Scherzer was going to be traded, but they probably were just,
Yeah.
pretty.
Think about how quickly this happened, though. Like, we heard about this, 40 minutes ago when we went live?
Yeah.
And now it's all but done.
Oh,
Scherzer's approved.
Gosh. Holy crap.
Insane.
Oh, man.
Imagine facing Walker Buehler, Max Scherzer, and Clayton Kershaw in a short series in October.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I mean, 2 Cy Young guys and,
And they just got Danny Duffy.
Yeah.
Like,
they got Danny Duffy. I mean, they also have, how's Julio Urias done this year? I mean, he's 12-3, so he is doing okay. 3.5.
I think he's been pretty inconsistent. Like, he's good starts and bad starts.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
I can't believe it. Like, Trey Turner is a Dodger.
That's insane.
That is insane. Like, that alone makes this the craziest trade deadline.
Yeah.
And then we're talking Rizzo to the Yankees, Gallo to the Yankees, Marte to Oakland, Brad Hand to Toronto. Ridiculous.
I feel like, because of this big trade the Dodgers made, there's going to be another one to respond to it.
Yeah. And, so, there's a lot of guys that could be in it. You talk about Chris Bryant, Craig Kimbrell, even Zach Davies, Javi Baez, possibly all leaving Chicago in the next 20 hours. And then you talk about Trevor Story, John Gray in Colorado, Jose Barrios in Minnesota, all guys that could go.
Yeah. Oh man, I could see like a Trevor Story, like John Gray to maybe
Definitely
or something, or heck, maybe even like I don't know, maybe like what about I don't know what about the Brewers or something? Why don't the Brewers make a trade for a big offense?
Brewers could definitely make a big trade. I could see them in on Bryant too. They could use a third baseman.
Yeah, like they need offense still.
Badly.
They have great starters and great pitching, that's for sure. It's just they have brutal offense, and it's like if they face the Dodgers in a series, like the Dodgers can definitely match them with pitching, but it's just the Dodgers have such a better offense.
So, yeah, especially now.
Yeah. Oh man.
They had a better offense at the beginning of the day. Now they've added Trey Turner.
Yeah.
One of the best hitters in the National League.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be an insane lineup. So like I don't know who. So what? I wonder what that lineup's gonna look like then.
Oh, but Turner, Betts, Bellinger, Justin Turner, Corey Seager. Oh my God.
Yeah, like who's gonna bat where? Like that's insane. Yeah, and I guess like Max Muncy, you didn't even think of him.
Yeah.
Arguably their best hitter this year.
Yeah, and you won't even think about him now when you look at the Dodgers lineup.
Oh gosh, it's gonna be like the best infield in baseball. Holy crap, yeah.
Yeah.
Muncy, Will Smith, arguably one of the better hitting catchers in the league too.
Now I'm wondering, does Gavin Lux go back to the Nationals? He has to, right? He has to.
Yeah, I feel like the Nationals would want to get like some guy who's like an MLB ready guy. It's like, okay, throw someone in who could, I don't know.
Yeah. You would certainly think so.
Some guy that we can replace right away on our roster.
Yeah. So the two prospects that the Cubs got in the Anthony Rizzo trade enter the Cubs system at number 6 and number 9. Alexander
Wow.
Vizcaino, right-handed pitcher. He's age 24 in high A, and he enters in at 6. And Kevin Alcantara, outfielder. He's 19-year-old outfielder. Definitely some high upside there. He enters in at number 9. And it looks like Kevin Alcantara has the definitely highest upside. He's got a 60 run grade, 55 power, 55 arm, 50 hit.
What were these
Definitely
guys ranked in the Yankee system?
Great question. I have no idea.
Because it's like, man, the Yankees just traded 8 prospects.
I know.
And I think I would think at least maybe 4 or 5 of the guys they gave for the Rangers were top 30 prospects in there. I mean,
for sure. I would think that too.
Because I mean, the ones you see on like MLB.com, those are from like the beginning of the year. And again, a lot of these guys are having phenomenal years, so they're only trending upwards. So these guys are only going to be rated higher and higher.
Yeah.
Oh, it's then I don't know where those two. I mean, if they're 6 and 9, the Cubs. I mean, I don't think the Cubs particularly have a strong farm system to begin with. So, but they seem like they would at least be somewhat significant prospects.
I'm not even sure if Gavin Lux is going back in the trade. They're saying Keibert Ruiz, Josiah Gray, and 2 mid-range prospects.
Okay.
So, I mean, if the Dodgers keep Lux too, wow. Just wow. I have no words.
Yeah, that's insane. I know there's going to be another big trade or something. There will.
What is the Dodgers' payroll going to be? I mean, they just added Scherzer and Trey Turner, and they still have Trevor Bauer on the books. Corey Seager, Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger, and that's not even the pitching, like Clayton Kershaw. Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Ooh. Fly a 3-run bomb. Let's
wow.
go. 9-0 Jays. Is when they just murder. As you saw with the Mets, it's like they lose whatever. What was the score of the first game? 2-0, then they win 10-3, and then they lose like 5-4.
Yeah.
When they win big. When they lose by 1 or 2 runs. But that was a bomb. Too bad he's not going to win the MVP because Ohtani's just ridiculous.
Yes, he is. Well, if Scherzer had to win to the Padres, the Mets wouldn't have had to face him for the rest of the season. Now there's a chance they face him twice in a week and a half when they play the Dodgers next month. Those are going to be a couple good series, especially if the Mets get their pitching back. But they need to make a move now, I think.
Who? Sorry.
Mets got to make a move.
Oh, Mets,
Brewers
yes,
got to make a move, and Padres got to make another move.
Yeah, they need to make a move. Man, it's saying Breos, Tampa, Boston, New York, and Toronto are all in on him. Literally 4 teams in the same division. That's crazy.
Wow.
I don't want the Jays to get him because I feel like that's just going to be, especially with Max Scherzer gone now, so many teams are going to get him and someone's going to have to overpay for him.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's an overpay going to happen.
Like the Padres are going to do it because they wanted Scherzer and they didn't get him, so they might do it because it still fits with their window nicely because they'll be good this year and they're obviously going to be good next year as well. And Breos, Breos, whatever how you say his name, he's going to be he's going to be on the team next year as well. So,
you know what? I really like the Reds maybe surprising a lot, maybe getting Trevor Story. The Reds are only 6.5 back of the Brewers.
They are.
They're definitely in the mix.
And their offense is,
Their offense is insane.
Especially with Joey Votto. He's been on fire. He's homered 6 games in a row or something.
Yeah.
He has 20 home runs down there. He's turning back the clock, and his OPS is 921 this year. Man, he's really having a solid season this year.
The Canadian turning back the clock.
Exactly, and obviously Nick Castellanos is doing well. Jesse Winker is doing really well, and
Jesse Winker,
yeah,
Matt's favorite hitter.
That guy. I mean, I said he wasn't going to have finish the year with the average over 300, and his average is at like 302 or something like that. So I still may be right on that, but hey, I'll admit he's a good hitter. Just not against lefties.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my goodness. The Dodgers develop good catchers. So Will Smith is one of the best in baseball. They could soon trade Keibert Ruiz, which looks like they could trade him any moment now. Number 16 prospect in baseball. And they still have a catcher named Diego Cartaya, who just jumped 30 spots in the top 100. He's now the number 57 prospect in baseball, according to Baseball America. Crazy.
Oh, man. Let's go. I'm so amped.
Yeah. And if you're a Washington Nationals fan right now, your owner doesn't care about you. He wasn't going to spend money on the
I'll admit, if I was
franchise.
a Nationals fan, I'd be not upset about the Scherzer thing because it's like you're not going to win. Might as well get something. But the Trey Turner is definitely a blind side for sure.
Yeah, and don't be fooled by the prospects. The prospects are great, but this wasn't a deal for prospects. This was we're not going to be able to afford Trey Turner next year, so let's get something out of it.
Yeah. So, man.
Complete shame when teams
because they had brutal contracts with. I mean, that Strasburg contract's looking brutal. I mean, when's he going to pitch again? That guy.
Maybe never.
And he's Patrick Corbin.
Yeah, Strasburg's now I think aiming to be ready next season.
I mean, he's good. He's good when he's healthy.
That's but now go back in time, lock up Anthony Rendon instead of Steven Strasburg.
Yeah,
not that Rendon hasn't been great this year, but if you swap those contracts, pretty good.
And then, I mean, Patrick Corbin, I mean, that contract's looking horrible right now. I mean, he was really good his first year with the Nationals, but, man, he's looking brutal. Last year, he was horrible. This year, he's even worse. His ERA is 5.71, just giving up runs left, right, and center, giving up bombs left, right, and center. And they still have 3 more years on that contract. Oh.
The Nationals got a lottery ticket. They signed Max Scherzer to an incredible contract. It worked out great for them.
Oh,
they decided to do it 2 more times, and with Strasburg and Corbin, did not work out.
Oh, it did.
I mean, it did. They won a World Series.
Yeah.
But the Corbin and Strasburg contract now, especially Strasburg, awful.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, they won a World Series. So maybe it wasn't that awful. But now it's looking pretty awful.
Yeah.
Wow. So Padres fans got to feel great right now. 4 hours ago, they traded for Max Scherzer, and now Max Scherzer is not only not headed to San Diego, but he's headed to their rival, the Los Angeles Dodgers, along with Trey Turner.
Oh.
It's a good day to be a Padres fan. Rough.
Yeah. Here you were. It's like big splash. They got Adam Frazier. I like that deal for them for sure. You know, leader in the MLB in hits and just a solid player. You know, doing all the guy you want to have on a winning team, does all the good things right, and then the Dodgers just come out swinging with Danny Duffy, which no one's really been talking about. Like he's had a really good year, and then Trey Turner and Max Scherzer, boom, boom.
Oh, and guess who's returning off the IL tomorrow?
Who?
Corey Seager.
Are you kidding me?
Don Heyman just tweeted, Corey Seager's expected back with the Dodgers tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh.
He'll be returning to a better team.
My gosh.
Trey Turner will play second base for the Dodgers.
Holy crap. Max Muncy, Trey Turner, Corey Seager, Justin Turner, and Will Smith. That's your infield.
Yeah. And, I mean, the Nationals farm system just got a big boost.
Yeah, I mean,
they had the worst farm system in baseball, and they probably still have a bottom 5 farm system, but
yeah, probably do.
Yeah, but the number 1 and 2 prospects for the Dodgers are going to be automatically inserted as 1 and 2 with the Nationals. And who knows, maybe the third guy in the trade will be number 3. Their farm system is that awful.
Yeah, it is.
Their top prospect has a future value of 50. Yeah. Which, I mean, 50 is good, 55 is great, and 60 is unreal. But for your number 1 prospect to have a future value of 50, not good.
Yeah, no.
Especially when he's a pitcher.
Oh my gosh.
Awful.
Holy crap.
What a night.
Yeah, what a night indeed. It's going to be great.
Yes, it is.
All right. I just keep refreshing Twitter, seeing what's happening. I see, like, I keep forgetting the NBA drafts today, too, and there's some stuff going on as well. So,
Yeah.
really good night just to be a sports fan in general.
Especially in LA. I mean, you just got Russell Westbrook, Max Scherzer, and Trey Turner.
Yeah, and poor night to be in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, but you got the prospects.
Yeah, your farm system sucks, but now it doesn't suck as much. I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly. The future. That's what the Seattle Mariners always say. The future is bright. It just never comes. But I think the Seattle Mariners are going to do something. I do. I think they're going to come in with an under the radar move that's going to really be big for the roster.
I think so as well.
I didn't understand why they traded Graveman. I didn't like the return either.
No, like what? What did they? They got Abraham Toro, by the way,
Yeah.
Canadian, and who was Joe Smith. He's been brutal this year, like an ERA of 7.
Yeah, and they traded Rafael Montero too, who started the year as the Mariners closer.
He was been brutal this year.
Oh,
but
he's been brutal, but has he been
good
more
years in the
brutal than
past.
Joe Smith?
Yeah,
Like, they're pretty much, they swapped Montero for Smith, and then they gave away Graveman.
yeah, they did. He's been like one of the best closers in the game with an ERA of .82 this year. He's just been really good.
Yeah.
I remember he was a former, actually, a fun fact, he was actually involved in the Josh Donaldson trade. He went to the Oakland A's from the J system. Yeah.
Wow.
He's the only guy that's still in the majors now. The rest of the guys the Jays traded didn't amount to anything.
That's funny.
So safe to say the Jays probably won that trade. But
Yeah, well, pretty obviously.
Yeah.
Definitely won it.
Considering the only guy that is good was brutal with wasn't too bad with the A's, but he's definitely turned on another level as a bullpen guy.
And you know what? I can't see any way the Washington Nationals won that trade.
No, trading away Trey Turner like that.
And Max Scherzer. They just traded their two most iconic players. I mean, you could consider Juan Soto up there too. But they just, two of their top 3 players. 3 most loved players. They just got rid of 2 of them.
So wait, did the Nationals? So did the Nationals have 3 All-Stars and they traded away 2 of them? Is that what they just did? Traded away 2 of their All-Stars.
That's the Nationals.
2 of their 3 All-Stars are gone. So Juan Soto just sitting there like, okay, what do I do?
Gone like that.
Yep.
Gone.
Man, so the Nationals have lost Bryce Harper, Anthony Rendon, and Trey Turner. Like what over the last 3 or 4 years?
Yeah.
Oh man.
My goodness. Washington, you got to get your act together.
Yeah.
The ownership there, that you need to change.
Yeah, I mean, they show they're willing to spend money, just maybe not in the right places as of late.
Yeah, but are they willing to spend money? Because clearly they weren't willing to spend it on Trey Turner.
Yeah, I don't know why they weren't, because he's just great. He could still win an MVP. I mean, he's still 28. He could still win an MVP.
Yeah. They would have been smart to lock up Juan Soto before, because I know he's a National for a while, but after he just watched that, is he really going to want to re-sign with the Nationals?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they're at least 3 years away from being competitive again.
Yeah, and I mean, Juan Soto is a free agent in 2025, so I mean, still a few years, but
yeah, but you're getting to the end of his contract by the time you're competitive.
Yeah, he'll still be 27 at that point, so he's still be well within his prime when he hits free agency. Yeah. So he'll likely command a huge contract.
Oh, huge!
I mean, you're talking.
Miguel Cabrera just hit 497.
He's
getting close to 500.
Yeah, I mean, how many hits is he also away from 3,000 too? I mean, he's still going to be a Hall of Famer. It doesn't matter if he hits those, but I mean, he will probably. And
yeah, he's definitely close. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
97. We'll definitely hit 500 this year.
2,936. He's 64 hits away.
Okay.
and
I don't know.
3
It'll be
home
close
runs.
this year. I don't know if he'll be able to do that in
And
the last how many games, like 68.
I'd love for him to go on a power shortage and then hit number 500 as hit number 3,000.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine.
Insane.
It would be insane. Like, that would just be unthinkable.
Yeah.
But, I mean, 64 hits, 3 home runs, not going to happen. But
No, it's not.
especially not for Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, I mean, he has lost some of his power over the years, but I mean, like, he's still Miguel Cabrera. He's still a power guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, one of the best hitters of the last few decades, well, at least in the 2000s.
Oh, yeah. One of the best hitters ever.
Yeah, one of the best.
He's the last guy to win the Triple Crown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Vladdy on my team, Vladdy Jr. ends up being like a Miguel Cabrera, like just consistent like he was for like a decade, I'll take that any day of the week.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of teams have not had a Miguel Cabrera in quite a long time.
Yeah, just hopefully it ends with the World Series with my team.
Yeah.
Miguel Cabrera, I guess, did win one with the Marlins, but he was like a rookie then. He never won one with the Tigers.
Yeah.
They did go to – how many – did they go to 2 World Series? I think 2006 and 2000 and what?
Like 13, 14, no, 12 maybe?
Yeah, they faced the Giants the one.
Yeah, 2012, I think. Yeah, because 2010, they faced Texas.
Yeah, and then 2012, yeah.
Yeah. But can't win.
Man, the Jays are just pounding the Red Sox. It's 10-0. Look at that. We just
Good.
win big.
I still think the Red Sox are going to finish 3rd or 4th in the division. There's a hot take.
They have a good bullpen, that's for sure. They don't have good starters. I'm sorry. I guess Chris Sale's coming back, but I don't think who knows what he's going to be like, because he was actually brutal, kind of, even with pitching. He's not the Chris Sale of old where he throws like 99. Like, 2019, and he ERA of 4.4. So, I mean, he still struck out a ridiculous amount of batters, but like he was giving up a lot of bombs.
Definitely.
So, we'll see how he is.
I didn't notice the White Sox acquired Ryan Tepera earlier.
I didn't even know that either. He's former Jay. He's got a pretty good fastball.
Yeah. Cubs sent him across town.
Yeah. Oh, wait, did Miguel Cabrera hit 2 home runs today?
Did he?
I just see Miguel.
Oh, yeah, has hit another. So, or maybe it's just another. I don't know. Did he hit 2?
On Twitter. Yeah, he hit 2 home runs today. So what is that, 498 now?
I think that was 497 because MLB just tweeted 4 minutes.
5th and 7th. Okay, so probably that because they're in the 8th now.
Yeah.
I just saw on Twitter it said Miguel Cabrera has 43 multi-home run games. That's 3rd most in the MLB since 2003, behind Pujols and Ortiz.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's definitely good company. All Hall of Famers. Oh, come on. I want to see a big trade. Let's see something like, I don't know, Trevor Story, John Gray, I don't know, close to going to the Brewers or the Mets. I don't know. One of those teams.
I really did not think that the Trevor Story trade would happen the day of the deadline, but it's looking like that now.
Yeah.
Which has got to be scary for Colorado Rocky fans because as much as you don't want to lose your star, you're not re-signing him.
No, you want to get something for him.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking one of the best players in the game, one of the best shortstops in the game for sure. He's got a great glove, great bat. And you really don't see many teams in on him right now, especially with the Yankees out. Yankees seem to be the favorite to get him, and now who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees probably just, don't have the prospect capital to get him now, but trade some of their top prospects because they didn't really trade their like top 5 guys. So they traded a bunch of their lower guys, although they are trending in the upwards direction. So they probably could still get him if they're willing to trade. But I mean,
I can't see them getting Story, Gallo and Rizzo.
Yeah, that would be nuts. They would just deplete the whole farm system. And I mean, I think there's what are these? There's still 9 games back in the division.
Yeah.
Oh. And they just got murdered by the Rays today, 14-0.
Yes, they did. Another under the radar move I could see happening is Kyle Seager to Milwaukee.
Yeah, I could see that. Wow.
Because I'm surprised the Mariners haven't traded Kyle Seager yet. But I mean, it's more probably they don't have many takers. But the Brewers could use a third baseman, and they could definitely use one that doesn't cost too much, like Kyle.
I mean, they did trade for Eduardo Escobar. I don't know where he's going to play. I mean, I have to look at the.
True.
I don't even
Yeah.
know. Other than like Omar Narvaez, their catcher, Colton Wong at second, Christian Yelich, and maybe like I really don't know who plays where on the Milwaukee Brewers. It seems like they
Yeah.
just have a bunch of randoms. I mean, I guess they do have Jackie Bradley Jr. They did sign him, but he's just been brutal hitting this year. Rowdy Telez, I guess, at first, former Jay, but
Yeah.
Keston Herrera's just been awful
Oh, he's been horrible.
this year.
And he was awful last year, too, right?
Yeah, he was brutal last year. He just strikes out so much. He doesn't even walk to counter it. So it's like, oh my gosh.
But last year, everyone was saying, oh, it's like it was just 60-game season, but he's been horrible.
Yeah, because he was so good to start his rookie year. He was batted 303. He did strike out a lot, but I mean, I guess there you go. I mean, if you actually look at if you look into the advanced stats, he actually had a BABIP batting average of balls in play of 402 in his rookie year. So definitely
No way.
luck ran out for him because he's also a guy who strikes out a ton. So
Yeah.
average of 303 was probably unsustainable for a guy striking out as much as he does.
Definitely.
But I mean, they could definitely use like a Trevor Story or Chris Bryant. I mean, definitely they have a hole at third base. There's no question about it. I mean, right now Travis Shaw looks like who was their guy recently, but I mean he's on the 60-day IL for them. I mean he was brutal anyways when he was playing. So getting like him would help. I mean, I don't know. They definitely need to make a move because even looking at this lineup, I mean, Christian Yelich is hurt again. He's been injury riddled and he doesn't look like the same hitter. I mean, hopefully he can get better, but this offense is just ugly on paper.
Yeah.
Oh man. Because again, you have to look at because I expect the Mets and the Brewers to win those divisions. There really shouldn't be a competition, but it's like if you want to make the World Series, you have to compete whoever's going to, against those NL West teams. Because even one of those teams is going to face the wild card winner of those teams. And in all honesty, those two teams, the wild card game, they could still have better rosters on paper than Milwaukee and the Mets. I mean, the Mets fully healthy, yeah, they definitely have a roster to compete, but
yeah,
it's still in the question for them. So you think one of these teams would be making a move at some point here to counter that? Because yeah, they're probably still going to win the division, even with the rosters they have. But it's about doing more than just winning the division. Winning an NL pennant and getting the World Series.
Exactly. So just back to the Dodgers for a moment. Gerardo Carrillo is also going to the Nationals in the trade. He's a right-handed pitcher pitching in Tulsa right now for their Double-A team. He's the 17th prospect in the Dodgers organization. 22 years old, I believe.
22. Okay, all right.
And he has a 4.25 ERA right now in Tulsa. But in 2018, he had a 1.50 ERA. 2017, he had a 2.79 ERA.
Okay.
Looks like he struggles with command a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Strikes out this year 70 strikeouts in 59 innings.
All right, I like that. That sounds like good stuff.
That. And batting average against this year is 221. But his whip is 1.31, which is not very good. No, but definitely some high upside there in Gerardo Carrillo, 22-year-old pitching in Double-A, and his ETA is 2021. So maybe the Nationals bring him up this year. Maybe he's in the rotation next year. But definitely another good prospect going to Washington. And he's 17 in the Dodgers farm system, which means he'll probably be like 8 in the National system. So it looks like second baseman Michael Busch for the Dodgers is going to be their new number 1 prospect.
Yeah, Michael Busch.
Third prospect. Yeah, named after the beer.
Hell yeah, now we're talking. God,
But
I mean, well, he's probably blocked by Gavin. Although Gavin Lux, I mean, he's been injured this year, hasn't looked the best, but he's probably still blocked by Gavin Lux for at least a bit.
well, I mean, now he's blocked by Trey Turner, so
Yeah, that's also another thing too. So he could still be a trade piece. If the Dodgers are like, we want more former Cy Young guys, you know, like I don't know who else is there, a former Cy Young guy, like.
yeah.
Oh man, Dodgers.
So over the next week or so, like coming off the IL and in the trade, the Dodgers are adding Max Scherzer, Trey Turner, Corey Seager tomorrow, Mookie Betts, and Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw, Betts, and Seager have all been on the IL. Insane.
Insane indeed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it looks like the fourth guy in the trade I don't think is in the top 30. They're saying something Casey, but he doesn't appear to be in the Dodgers top 30. But another prospect. So that's 4 prospects. They're number 1, they're number 2, they're number 17, and then 1 unranked.
Heck yeah. Let's go.
Apparently, Dan O'Dowd just last week talked about the potential of a Trey Turner, Max Scherzer deal with the Dodgers.
Really?
Just on Tuesday, did a video about it.
Wow, look at that. Everyone probably thought he was crazy. Nationals fans were like, oh, this guy's an idiot, you know?
Yeah, and the Dodgers front office is looking at it like,
not a
pretty good
bad
idea.
You know, I like that. Okay.
I like it. Let's do it. Let's add to that payroll.
Okay, yeah. So per this one stat, yeah, this is kind of what we were talking about earlier. So the Dodgers would be the first team in MLB history to have 4 MVPs and 4 Cy Young winners appear for them in a single season.
Ridiculous. Oh my goodness.
That is insane.
That is insane. 4 Cy Youngs and 4 MVPs.
Oh wait, who are the MVP guys? Cody Bellinger, I guess
Mookie Betts, Clayton Kershaw.
Did he win the MVP the one year?
Who?
Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, he did. He won it when he won the Cy, when he had that crazy year.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, fair enough. He did have.
Who's the 4th?
Yeah, he did. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Who was the 4th guy?
Max Scherzer didn't win an MVP, did he?
No, he didn't. Let me look. Oh, Albert Pujols. I forgot he's on the team.
Oh yes.
He's only contributing, but actually he's been better than I thought. He does have a 256 average with 7 and 8 bombs, but I forgot about him. Fair enough. I mean, we don't really count him. He's not really going to impact them, I'd say. I mean, good pinch hit guy off the bench maybe, and you know he is Albert Pujols, an intimidating guy, but
yeah. The Dodgers continue to add MLB proven stars for potential above average MLB players.
Oh my gosh.
Ridiculous.
Don't forget, they also got Billy McKinney from the Mets, too.
Yeah, true. That was a big move.
Yeah, and he has a 375 on base so far with them in 6 games.
Yeah, and Billy McKinney's actually the guy who went to the front office and said, we need Trey Turner. So clearly, that Billy McKinney trade of the season. That was the turning point for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
They're like, we're going for it, boys. Hold
exactly.
100%. What did I just walk into here?
Justin, how's your night been going? What did you think of the trade?
First, just to start with the whole Padres rumor part of it, well, if you're the Nationals, like, good on get more money out of other teams, or not money, but more prospects. In this case, out of the Dodgers, a better offer. If you're the Nationals, it's like I don't really understand trading Trey Turner. I get the Max Scherzer portion of the deal. I guess Turner gets you more assets, but like he's young, he's still under control for more years. I really don't understand trading him, especially when he's developed into such a star, and like that's going to be hard to replace. But the return is good. Like Keibert Ruiz is a top 20 prospect in baseball, and he's a catcher. Hard to fill that position. Josiah Gray is a great young arm. They're getting 2 more mid-tier prospects, so the return isn't bad. I just don't really get the Trey Turner part of it. I think that's a little head scratching.
Agree completely. Like that really is ownership saying we're not signing him, so you might as well trade him.
Well, I
And
guess
for Washington Nationals fans, good luck the next 3 years because your team ain't doing anything.
I guess after what happened. I guess after what happened with Rendon and Harper, they didn't want to lose another star again for nothing.
Yeah. But Trey Turner was the franchise.
Okay, well,
I
let's
mean,
not get carried away there. They have this guy named Juan Soto.
yeah,
Juan
but
Soto's
like
franchise.
right now, Trey Turner, at least these last couple years, Trey Turner is very good.
I know he's very good, but it's still Soto.
All right.
Soto was like a historically speaking, in terms of that context, Soto was dominant.
Well, so is Trey Turner.
I'm aware, but Soto was better. You can acknowledge one while realizing the other was better.
You missed it, but Bob Nightingale earlier was tweeting about the trade, and he was talking about how Kyle Seager plays short for the Dodgers.
Boy. That's the other thing about this trade. So the Dodgers are going to have Trey Turner play second base so they can keep Corey Seager at shortstop.
Yeah.
I don't get why you make a move like I understand you don't want to upset Corey Seager, but Corey Seager should be a mature enough veteran and realize that Trey Turner is the better defensive shortstop.
Yeah, he is.
Like you're making this trade to win now, and then you're not putting out the best defensive lineup you can. Like that just seems silly to me.
But I mean, to be fair, I haven't heard anything from the Dodgers saying that. I mean, John Heyman reported Turner will play second, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Let's see what happens. But it's pretty crazy that Corey Seager comes back tomorrow, and Trey Turner is going to join him.
Yeah. Well, Trey Turner had COVID, so he won't be joining them for about 2 weeks. But
yes, true. You're right.
Regardless, when he gets there.
But this makes the offseason more exciting because now it's looking like Corey Seager is going to be a free agent.
Yeah, this free agent class is probably one of the most stacked in history. There's a lot of big names this offseason.
Man, I guess the Dodgers just couldn't handle that they lost to the Giants B team today, and then saw that the Dodgers were going to make the deal, so they just couldn't let that happen. On that note, did you see the lineup the Giants played today that beat the Dodgers 5-0?
I did not.
So this is the starting lineup: Austin Slater, Wilmer Flores, Mike Yastrzemski, who's had a bad year, Darren Ruff, Donovan Solano, Brendan Crawford, Tyro Estrada, Kurt Casale. That was the starting lineup. And they won 5-0.
That's awful.
And this was Brendan Crawford's first game back after being on the IL. The Giants are currently missing their entire starting infield.
Oh my gosh.
Crawford just got back, so that's the first one. Longoria's on the 60-day IL. Belt's hurt again. Crawford just got back. Tommy LaStella's hurt, and Buster Posey is day-to-day.
Okay, but like Wilmer Flores is pretty good.
Oh, he's a good lefty hitter. He's not that good against righties, but against lefties, he's a good hitter.
Yeah, but Wilmer.
But he's a very good depth piece, a good platoon player.
Yeah.
And Darren Ruff hasn't been that bad this year.
Darren Ruff's had a solid year, but Donovan Solano has an OPS of 650. And that was that was
after having a really good year last year.
That was their 5-hitter today. That was their 5-hitter today, and they won 5-0.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the best team in baseball, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, not anymore, I don't think.
I mean, I'm not talking in terms of talent. I'm talking record-wise.
Yeah, well, Dodgers just did everything they could to change that.
Yeah, well, that's why I think it's surprising not hearing the Giants in on any of these guys.
Well, the Giants have been, and they're just not. They don't have the prospect pool that the other.
Yeah, they don't. They have a weak farm system.
I mean, they've been linked to Chris Bryant all day today, so
I can see that happening. That would be really good for both sides, I think.
Yeah, that would be a good get for them. They'd been linked to Jose Barrios. Although every contender's been linked to him, so
every team in the AL East is linked to him, aside from the Orioles.
Yeah.
So,
well, the Yankees are probably out on him now because they used a ton of prospect capital on Gallo.
Yeah. I just even if they probably have the prospects to make it happen, I just can't see them doing it. Not after getting Gallo and Rizzo.
Agreed.
It would just be a really dumb move in my opinion.
AJ Preller's going to do something in the next 20 hours that
100%.
Like he's not going to let the Dodgers just take that and run. That's
Yeah,
just
I
a
think
demo.
I think the Brewers will do something. The Reds could even make a big move under the radar. The Mets could make a big move. Even the Jays can make a big move. Like, we're looking at a really eventful day tomorrow.
I think if
Yeah.
the Brewers make a move, they're going to add Trevor Story.
Yeah.
That will be their move.
I think the Reds too. I think the Reds could get Trevor Story as well.
I don't think the Reds will, just because I think they're not on the outside. They're kind of on the outside looking in. Like, they need to win their division to make the postseason.
Oh yeah.
Because let's be
6.5
realistic.
games. 6.5 games. Not much.
Oh, I'm not saying it's impossible. I think
the Brewers have blown it before, as we've seen in the past.
I think
Yes.
the Reds are
Different
also
teams,
smart
but-
enough to realize that right now it's like they can go all in on Story, but that's a pretty significant gap you have to make up for a guy who's gonna. If it was a non-rental player, if Story wasn't a rental, I think they'll make that move.
Yeah.
I think it's a little harder to justify that move when he's a rental and your team isn't like in playoff position. You need to like go on a run.
That's fair.
So like it's nothing against the Reds, because I think the Reds have a very savvy front office in that sense, that they've done a good job evaluating where they're at. I just think that that's a hard sell to make if you're the Reds front office, that you should make that move when he's a free agent at the end of the year, and it's no guarantee he stays.
Yeah,
They're in a tough position. It's unfortunate because they're actually having a good year. They're just
Yeah.
NL West just decided to become one of the most ridiculous divisions we've seen in recent memory.
This is the greatest, I think, division race we've seen in a long time.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking about, like, right now, the Padres and Dodgers playing in the wild card game says enough about this season.
Yeah, one of those teams is going to be out.
Those are one game. Yeah, we thought that was going to be the NLDS. No, that's one game and you're done. Well, that just goes to show the incredible year the Giants are having.
Yeah, will they keep it going, though?
I mean, I think at this point, it's like you'd be foolish not to buy in on them.
It's crazy.
Like, they have the pitching. They've built their team on home run hitting and pitching, and that's kind of what baseball is now. Like, they've built a team that wins in 2021. They can hit home runs at any time. Their pitchers are going to give them good outings. They have a good deep bullpen. This is how you win games nowadays, and the Giants are just proving that you don't need to have star power when you have that.
But I think the Giants can make a move.
I think the Giants should make a move.
They definitely should. I mean,
Absolutely should.
they can't just sit there and watch the Dodgers run away with the division.
No, because
And the Padres get better too. Like, this is,
Yeah.
you gotta make a move here. I agree.
Either way, though, Justin, whatever happens tomorrow, is this the best trade deadline in recent memory?
I mean, I don't know if it's the best, but it's certainly up there.
yeah.
I think those big moves that are going to happen tomorrow is going to put it over the top.
I mean, the thing is, it also depends on how these players perform.
Yeah.
Like, for me, the best trade deadline that I can remember is 2008 because of the CC Sabathia and Manny Ramirez moves that paid immediate dividends because those two went off with their new teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Manny hit close to 400 and like had as many RBIs as games played, while Sabathia threw like 7 complete games for the Brewers and had like a sub-2 ERA.
Yeah, it's rare that like a big time player makes that much of a difference when they get traded. Like even JD Martinez a few years ago for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, that was a huge one when JD Martinez
Went
just
off.
the Diamondbacks and went nuclear.
Yeah, and even like you went to Cespedes for the Mets in 2015.
Yep.
Like there are some big moves, but not all of them pan
Like,
out.
not every big move works.
All right. Want to do a fun little game here, guys?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to name players that are still available, and you're going to tell me, firstly, what team they are going to be on. After the trade deadline. Okay. I'm going to name the guys that are still out there, and you're going to tell me what team they're going to be on. Okay.
Okay.
Trevor Story.
Thinking Brewers.
The Mets.
Brewers.
Let's go with the Mets.
The Mets. All right. Okay. How about Chris Bryant?
Giants.
Giants.
Giants. All right. Javier Baez.
Cubs. I don't think he moves.
You don't think
Yeah.
he moves?
I'd be surprised if they move him.
I don't think they can get a good enough return for him at this point, and they'd rather just try to re-up him.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Craig Kimbrell?
I mean, from Toronto, so I'm a hopeful Jays fan and hope that's where he ends up, but realistic, like my hope is the Jays. My realistic guess would have to be probably, I think the Padres make a move there.
Padres? Okay. All right.
Add another late inning arm.
I think the Yankees could get him. Yankees are looking for a reliever now. I also could see him going with Bryant, wherever Bryant goes.
Yeah, you could.
So maybe he could go with him to the Giants. But I think if the Mets end up trading for Bryant, I think Kimbrel could go there. I really think that they're going to look to package Kimbrel with Bryant.
All right. One guy we haven't really been talking about, or I haven't heard a lot, Kyle Gibson. Where do you think he's going to go? Or he's going to stay?
I think he might stay, if I'm being honest.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I think he could stay.
Like, you're not really hearing anything with him. Teams don't seem to be that interested.
No.
I think the Rangers might just hold out, hope he continues his season, then get a package in the offseason.
All right. How about Jose Barrios?
I think he's a Red Sox after tomorrow.
I think he's going to stay. I don't think they're going to get what they want for him. I think he's going to stay in Minnesota. And I think they're going to look to move him in the offseason.
I think the Red Sox are going to look at the rest of the AL, see that the other contenders aren't really making a lot of moves. The NL's loading up. They can make a run to the World Series. They need pitching. I think that's a move they make.
I think they should. They should definitely make that move, but I still think it's going to take a lot for Minnesota to part ways with them.
That's fair.
All right. What about Richard Rodriguez?
I just think I honestly don't know where he's going to end up. If I'm being honest, it'll be a reliever needy team. Which team that is, I don't know, but it'll be somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. What about like John Gray? His name's been thrown around.
I think that's a guy the Red Sox should be targeting as well. I think the Red Sox should be cornering the market on starting pitching, regardless of like level of pitching.
Yeah, they need starters, that's for sure.
Like, I don't like if I'm the Red Sox, like after watching Eduardo Rodriguez tonight, it's like I like D-Rod coming into the year, but he's just been his peripherals are
he
good.
Is brutal.
He's just had a bad he's been very unlucky this year, and it's just been a bad year. And at this point, it's that you can't rely on that.
What about the Blue Jays? Blue Jays for John Gray.
I mean, I think it'd be a good fit, but I think the Jays are more focused on reliever help right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Fair enough.
The Jays are looking for a big left-handed power bat, and then they're looking for reliever help.
Yeah, what about Kyle Schwarber? Where do you think he could end up?
I think he'll be in the AL East. Do I know which AL East team it'll be? Probably the Red Sox or Blue Jays.
Yeah. Definitely an American League team.
He's going to go to an AL team where they can DH him.
What about like the Mariners?
I don't think the Mariners, just because I guess Schwarber doesn't really have a say. He doesn't have a no-move clause.
What about Oakland?
Oakland already made their move with Marte.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Will the Angels do anything? Are they going to add a pitcher?
I think if the Angels are doing anything, they need to add pitching. I don't think you go for – I don't think you make a move for offense if you're the Angels because even let's say Schwarber, where's Schwarber going to fit? Because Ohtani DHs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Angels, I mean, they shouldn't trade for offense, but let's be real. That's all they know how to do.
Yeah.
Is get offense. They don't know how to get pitching.
Well,
I was going to say, the offense is going to get a big boost soon when Trout's back. So
yeah, that's true.
Oh.
But their pitching is awful.
I mean, I think the wild card tomorrow that no one's talking about is Michael Pineda.
Ooh.
I think that's a very under the radar name that a lot of teams should be circling to trying to get.
He'd be a good fit with the Angels.
I know there's the injury issues. There's the past with PEDs, but at the end of the day, that is a talented arm who can help out a contender who shouldn't cost too much to get.
Definitely.
Okay.
I think I honestly think Pineda will move before Barrios will.
I'm just pulling up Pineda. Pineda in 14 starts this year has a 3.86 ERA and a 1.19 WHIP.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Some teams should be able to find a use for that in the middle or back end of their rotation. Like against the Red Hot Tigers. So this was Monday night against the Tigers. Won 6 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits, no walks, 6 punch-outs. Against one of the hottest teams in baseball. Like this is a guy who's going to come in. He'll slot in at the bat, like 3 or 4 in your rotation, 3 or 4 in your playoff rotation, and will give you 5 to 6 solid innings and keep you in a ball game. Like if I'm the Boston Red Sox, I am heavily targeting him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they need stars. That's for sure. Like, oh my gosh, their bullpen's good. Their offense is good. It's the starters they need.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
man,
so
like every time.
Gerardo Carrillo, who's number 22 in the Dodgers system, immediately becomes a top 10 prospect in the national system.
Yeah, that goes to show how brutal they're at.
That tells you how deep the Dodger system is, as well as how brutal the national system is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened very quick.
It did.
Like, Justin, we were just about to go live, and I saw it on Twitter, and I said, Matt, don't look at your phone. And then we went live, and I read it
I
to
saw
him.
Justin send a message, and I saw a tweet, and I was like, it's probably what Noah was referring to, so I don't want to look at it. And it was.
Crazy how quickly that developed. Like, all of a sudden, it was done in, like, an hour.
Yeah, like, when you posted that, I usually when they say, are close to acquiring, it's like, I mean, I usually assume that when you see a tweet like the Padres are close to acquiring Max Scherzer, I assume it's just eventually going to get to Max Scherzer. But we saw it, that whole Michael Brantley fiasco in the the offseason with the Jays, and I thought he was a Jay, and all these people are saying he was a Jay. You can't really trust it until set in stone.
Yeah, it usually does not happen that quickly.
Yeah, the other prospect in the deal is Donovan Casey, by the way, in case you didn't see that.
Yeah, he's the only one not ranked.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's a good return. I don't think it's enough. Not when I would see that turn for just straight up Trey Turner. That return would be fair. But then throw in Max Scherzer, I don't think the Nationals got enough.
I think you could have. I think it's not a bad return, but I think you could have done better.
Definitely. I feel like you were almost like you didn't even need to trade Turner, and then you just threw him in like whatever. Like, why would you trade Trey Turner? If anything, trade him in the offseason.
I think Trey Turner is what netted them Gray and Ruiz.
Oh, no, 100%. But are you not getting more in the offseason if you waited out on Trey Turner and just get what you can for Max Scherzer? Like, I feel like they would have gotten more if they traded them separately. Because did anyone in baseball even know Trey Turner was available?
It had actually been public knowledge that the Nationals were shopping him. It wasn't. They weren't like actively shopping him, but they had made it known that anyone but Juan Soto could be had. If they,
I guess in the offseason too, it would have been hard to get a good return for him when you got guys like Carlos Correa, Javi Baez, Trevor Story all on the free agent market. Now going to be Corey Seager too. It's going to be wild.
Yeah.
It's going to be an insane end of the season, insane tomorrow with the trade deadline, but also a pretty crazy offseason.
Well, tomorrow should be an interesting one. That is for certain.
Yes.
No, I think the rest of the night should be pretty. You might see one or two more trades tonight. I think they'll be late night trades though.
I mean, we're talking. It's not even 7:00 on the West Coast.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying late. I'm referring East Coast late night trades.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you might see like a 12:30 move, East Coast time.
I think we can still see another blockbuster.
I did too.
Wasn't a few years ago the big Troy Tulowitzki trade? Didn't that happen almost in the middle of the night?
That happened at about 11 p.m.
It was 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a nighttime trade.
Yeah. Well, Nationals fans do not seem happy on Twitter.
I mean, do you blame them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I laugh because there's like one guy, Dan Clark. It's like great win-win for both teams. The Dodgers get their guy, and the Nationals, whatever, like boost their weak farm system. Win-win for both teams.
At least Nationals fans got their World Series.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's pretty big.
Quote from a scout earlier this week about one of the Nationals affiliates. Awful. Entire team lacks tools. There aren't even a lot of organizational players. It's guys who shouldn't even be in pro ball. That's how bad their farm system is. It's awful.
Oh.
Even after tonight's trade, it's still awful.
Oh, gosh.
keep hearing all this crap about the Jays being on Jose Breos. I do not want him.
What do you think about Barrios, Justin?
I think it depends on price. Like if I'm the Blue Jays and the price to acquire Jose Barrios is one of Austin Martin, Simeon Woods Richardson, or Jordan Grosh. Well, not necessarily Woods Richardson, but Groshans or Austin Martin. I think I'd walk away from that negotiation. Especially
I don't want them trading either of those guys. Screw that.
Would you trade Woods Richardson with a couple other like low end prospects?
If I'm getting Barrios and they're adding in another piece, I might be more inclined. Like if it's Barrios and Taylor Rogers, I think that might be a deal I explore.
Yeah, that's an
Barrios
interesting
is still
deal.
young. You do have another year of control on him. Taylor Rogers has control. It fills two immediate needs. That would be a deal I might be willing to consider where I'm giving up Woods Richardson. I'd give up another decent Jays prospect. Like nobody like not necessarily the top end, but like someone who is a good prospect, and then some of the lower tier guys.
I like that. I didn't even think about them including Rogers in the trade. Like that would definitely be good for the Jays, getting a good reliever as well, and then a year of Barrios.
I just don't want them trading Gabriel Moreno or whatever, or Austin Martin.
My thing about Gabriel Moreno though is that like this is just 1 year. He's never been this good a hitter before, so I'm not going to.
He's been okay. I mean, he just moved up. I think he's the best prospect now. According to the next thing, he's the 12th best prospect now in all of baseball.
I still think Austin Martin is the best prospect in the Blue Jays system. I do include Nate Pearson in that.
Well, yeah, Nate Pearson. I definitely. I mean, I would say Austin Martin's better than Nate Pearson. I would say Jordan Groshen's even better than Nate Pearson.
I'm not going to sit here and say Gabriel Moreno is the best prospect in the Jays system off of 1 year. For context,
Austin Martin just got drafted.
Okay, well, here's your other comparison. Danny Jansen was at one point the number one prospect in the Blue Jays system and was a consistent 300 hitter in the minor leagues.
I mean,
not every prospect's going to work out.
Yeah, which makes these trades even more crazy. I saw a stat. Yeah. What is it, like 1 in 4 prospects that are traded spend more than a year in the Major League, like in Major League Baseball, when they're traded at the deadline? 1 in 4, I think.
Like you're trading guys for lottery tickets. That's the thing about prospects. It's no one is a sure thing.
Yeah.
You look at Michael Bush, number 1 overall pick, and Matt Bush. Where did that lead him?
Jail.
Nothing is a sure thing in this sport.
That's true. Here's my take. By tomorrow, the Mets will have one of Trevor Story, Chris Bryant, Javier Baez.
I think if I'm the Mets, though, that's not really what I like. Is that really what the Mets need that badly?
Yeah, I think they need offense. Yeah, big splash.
They need a big splash, I think, especially in New York. I mean, the Yankees just made 2 big splashes.
They do.
And we're talking the Braves and Phillies are getting creeping closer in the division. Braves.
I think they do need a splash.
They do need a splash. Is it the best move? Probably not, but they need a splash.
I think they do. They really do.
And I think if they got Baez, I think they could re-sign him. He said, what did he say yesterday? Like, he wants to play with Lindor, and the Mets are the only team he'd play second base for.
Yeah, exactly. Second and him. That'd be like literally the greatest double play combo. Greatest.
Ever. Like, of all time. That would be incredible.
Yeah, they're both really, really good.
Really good.
And also, just that Gabriel Moreno hype train, just to bring that back. Like, I just looked up his stat. He's played 32 games this year.
Yeah.
Before that, he had never hit this well.
He still hit. I mean, he still had a 970 OPS in 40 games 1 year, and then he hit 280 with I don't know.
I'm not saying he's a bad prospect and won't be a good hitter, but I'm just saying we need to slow down that hype train a little bit.
I think he's incredible.
And even then, the Jays have been experimenting with him at third, so he might not even last behind the plate.
I mean, he's also he's thrown out 44% of runners, too. And he hasn't committed an error. Like, this guy's just great on both sides of the ball. He's like Alejandro Kirk and Danny Jansen combined.
Definitely.
From what I see. So I know he's only AA, but he's definitely easily the most promising prospect out of all the catchers they have.
What are the catchers? Yeah. That
like
I'd-
100%. Most promising.
That I'd agree with. I still wouldn't say he's their most tantalizing prospect, though. That would still be Martin.
All right. Before we finish things up tonight, each of us, let's pick who wins the trade deadline tomorrow. Who makes the biggest move tomorrow,
Well, I mean, I
and
don't,
what is it?
regardless of what move gets made tomorrow, the Dodgers are the clear winners.
But what's the biggest
Yeah.
move tomorrow? Tomorrow
The
alone,
biggest move tomorrow,
or between now and the deadline?
between
Tonight,
now and the
tomorrow.
deadline, I think Trevor Story ends up a Milwaukee Brewer. I think that's the big headline.
Oh,
Interesting.
I think Bryant's going to the Mets. Maybe we'll see.
I think Bryant and Davies could go to the Mets. That would be
makes
a
sense.
big
Because I do think the
blockbuster
Mets
that
do
could
need to get a
happen.
starter because some of their starters, although they do, it's just a matter of like health. They do have incredible starters on their roster, just health. But you want like a guy who's healthy as well.
Yeah.
So definitely would help. Especially seeing who's that one guy that they had? He was like a former Philly that just sucks and he got blown up that one start. Like who was that guy? Like against the Braves, he just sucked. He had like 13 runs or something.
Jared Eichhoff.
Oh yeah, I know he's a former Philly. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Awful.
man, it's like you have that guy in your starting rotation. Oh man, you gotta. Zach Davies is better than that. Like
Yeah, exactly. And even just a guy that can just get some starts until they get some guys back, and then even just throw him in the bullpen as a long man.
yeah, honestly. Oh man. But I mean, the winners tomorrow. I'm gonna say, I think the Mets are gonna make a big move tomorrow. I think they'll win tomorrow. The Brewers is second place. Like I don't know, the Brewers have to do something, but I don't know. I don't know if they will, but I think the Mets are gonna do something because they do have more talent on their team. It's just a matter of getting guys back. But they also want to be able to make a run to the World Series, which they can if guys get healthy and make a splash or two, at least one maybe.
I'm going to go with the Red Sox. Red Sox are going to win tomorrow. They're going to make a couple big trades. Justin said they were going to get Barrios. They're going to get Barrios, and then they're going to make another trade.
It makes sense because I do think the Red Sox, I mean, are the division leaders right now. I think the White Sox and Astros are better than the Red Sox. I mean, they have
I
better
agree.
starters at least.
Yeah.
The Astros have an iffy bullpen, but I mean, I guess they did get Kendall Graveman, and they already have. I don't know. I forget what's that closer that went to the All-Star game for them was actually pretty good. Their closer.
Which team?
The Astros. Who's their closer again?
Oh,
Ryan Presley.
yeah.
Yeah, him. He's really good too. So now you got Kendall Graveman and him. That's pretty good 8-9 combo there, but the rest of the bullpen's kind of iffy after that. So
Yeah.
but
And even like watching the Yankees making these moves, Red Sox got to do something.
oh yeah, I mean the Yankees got. I mean their starters are okay, but their bullpen's pretty good, and their big weakness surprisingly was their offense, and they definitely addressed that. So
I mean, if I'm being honest, though, I don't really get the Yankees' moves because it's like they just added more of what they already had.
strikeouts and bombs.
Like low average strikeout, high strikeout home run hitters. Like I don't get why you would just add to that because it's still going to be the same thing. Like you're still going to be a very boom bust offense.
But there's one thing you're forgetting with these low average, high strikeout hitters. They get on base.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Gallo,
Billy Bean.
As Billy Bean says, they get on base.
they get on
You're
base.
talking about two big left-handed bats playing in the short porch Yankee Stadium with high on base percentage. That's really going to help the Yankees off.
And Joey Gallo's a pretty good defender too.
Yeah.
Oh, the Gallo move I like. It's the Rizzo one more for me. It just makes a lot of sense to me.
I thought Story would have been a better acquisition for the Yankees.
Like
But-
again, the on base thing is great and all, but it's like you can get on base all you want. If no one drives you in, then
I don't know. The Oakland Athletics did win 20 games in a row.
They did.
where did that get them in the playoffs? People always tell you about how effective Moneyball was until you remind them that A's team lost in the first round.
Hey, it got them to the playoffs.
It's
Where are
fair.
the Yankees sitting right now?
You're also forgetting one other thing about that A's team. They had the 3 guys who finished 1, 2, 3 in Cy Young voting.
Yeah, they did. They already had and Miguel Tejada,
Like,
MVP guy, and just
Yeah.
like that A's team, like everyone will tell you about Moneyball and how it was so improbable and underdog stuff, but that was not a bad baseball team.
no, they were pretty good.
Like they had Tim Hudson, they had Barry Zito. I don't remember the third pitcher in that rotation, but like stacked rotation.
Mark Mulder,
Oh, it was Mark Mulder, you're right. Strong bullpen. Miguel Tejada was like
really good.
a machine at that age. It's
They
like
had
this is
another
not a
guy,
bad
too.
baseball team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I love Moneyball and I love the concept of it, but at the same time, it's like that Oakland A's team, like that whole Moneyball thing of them being underdogs, it's so blown over proportional because of the movie and the book.
yeah, but they got on base, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Exactly. If they can get on base, it's all that matters, Justin. Do they get on base? Yes.
They do. Joey
They
Gallo
get
gets
on
on base.
Joey Gallo
It's good
gets on
defense
base.
too, which is what Billy Bean also likes.
Yeah. Good defense and getting on base. And
Exactly.
they don't steal. They don't steal bases, which is good.
I think that's a good point to end our night. What do you fellas?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Good
Sounds
point
good.
is that when making trades and looking to improve the roster, do they get on base?
Exactly.
They get on base.
Exactly. They get on base. The Yankees are a much better team than they were.
100%.
100%.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us at Beanie Bro Sports Trade Deadline.
Oh
And
yeah.
we saw a huge trade tonight and more in store tomorrow. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Give us